So we had to stretch ourselves to the limit sometimes, because to handle Jeffrey Herlings, he's my good friend and he knows, but you need almost an extra team beside the team to handle him. You need the double amount or the triple amount of material. When everybody is in winter holiday, he's doing laps in Lommel. If the water is 1 meter deep or the snow is there or the ice is there, he's training, he's riding. We had some fights, you know. Like we said, Jeffrey, it's better to take a weekend off to be ready for the next GP. No, he wanted to go to that race. We agreed not to go. We stayed home, then we find out he borrowed a bike from a dealer, went there with his father and still did the race.
I think the perfect body I don't have, because first of all my bones are very fragile, and second of all I'm a little bit too big. I mean, like a guy like Stewart, Prado, Faber, those, you know, I think they have the perfect body between 70 and I think around 75 kilograms, and a little bit more small. I think that's a bit better, but yeah, and for sure you need to be very physically fit for doing this sport.
With talent, you can get far in a career, but at one point, it's not only the talent, you know, it's also being physically in good shape. Especially when you go to the MXGP class, you have a very heavy motorcycle with a lot of power, and you need to be able to handle that. If you want to go fast, you have to be fit.
You're working with whole your body, your arms, your legs, just everything, your coordination, shifting, braking points, and also you're racing in heat, in rain, in any type of weather also. So I think it's one of the hardest sports on the planet.
What's hanging off of Herlings, if we can go close up on him, the opposite side? Is that the goggle strap? Is his goggle strap broken? Wow, he's got major issues here. Ah, he's cruising. So Jeffrey Herlings has another problem. What has gone wrong now? Herlings is down in 25th place and looking down at the foot peg or the brake. Here he is, problem with the bike. Broken foot peg, you can see it. And that was Herlings out of the race. He was second in race one.
Behind us we have the GP truck. Last weekend we had France, and now we're back here getting prepared for Latvia. So boys come back, park the truck outside. Normally the truck driver washes the outside, and then we bring the truck in. Boys bring out their race bikes, you know, go straight to the wash bay, strip the bikes, clean them, get everything ready for the next GP. So we keep our toolboxes in here. We put 4 of the race bikes and wheels. So this is normally just general storage. And then in the back of the truck in the workshop. So in here is where all the technical details are. So inside we have spare engines, so twin air products, spare bolts, axles, electrical parts, all the good stuff that we need for GP weekend. The mechanics spend a lot of time sleeping in here. It's their kind of home away from home. So each mechanic has their own little bed, their own little place, a drawer with some of their belongings, and then shower and toilet is inside here. Little shelf down the back there for them to keep their gear and stuff for the GP weekend. This is the, say, living area for the mechanics. It's their place to chill out, you know, relax after a day, watch a bit of TV, cook some food here, hang out, and yeah, just enjoy their time at the GPs. Inside of our trucks we have a big structure with the tent. So this is all of the LAM system, which is the banners inside that create all the branding. And then up on the top there we have big poles for the tent, more spare parts with plastics for the boys. Motocross is one of the few motorsport events that you can really get up close to the bikes and the athletes and all the stuff. So we would like to continue with the tent. I think it's really the true essence and the feel of motocross. You know, I think that feeling, being close to the bikes, being close to the mechanics, seeing how they work, seeing Jeffrey get on his bike and go to the start line, you know, that can make a kid's weekend. We're always under such time pressure. We come back from the GP and then we've got 2 or 3 days to rebuild our bike. We have 1 day to pack the crate. So we're always trying to make the system better and the process more easy for us to, for the mechanic's life, for my life. So Michele Dora is Jeffrey Herlings' race mechanic. He preps Jeffrey's bike in between every GP. So fresh plastics, fresh engine goes in, freshen up the wheels, new chain and sprockets, new stickers, new grips, practically everything new ready for the next run of GPs. You're always looking ahead, you're always making plans for the future, and I think that's super important. There's always room to be better, whether you can make the process a little bit better, whether you can make your bike a little bit better. Maybe we can eliminate one step from our process. What we do is difficult, there's a lot of pressure, it's quite complicated with the travel and logistics and all these things, so I think keeping it simple is sometimes the most difficult thing, but maybe the most important.
Now we are here in the dyno and we're gonna check everything, engine and some other things, if they work correctly. And yeah, it's just a final check to be everything sure.
Yeah, it was a good session. Track's a little bit difficult. The lines are difficult. There are a lot of them. They're deep, but yeah, Jeffrey looks comfortable. Yeah, pretty happy with it.
Yeah, time brakes was really good. And it wasn't even my best lap, because in my best lap I crashed, a small one. But yeah, time brakes was good, P1, so nothing wrong with that.
On a track like this with the really deep ruts and some quite tight corners, you're always playing a little bit with gearing, so just making a decision about which way we go there, whether we make it a bit longer or shorter and give Jeffrey a bit more flow through the corners. It's a track where it's quite difficult to find flow, so we're just trying to help him get that flow and get into the motos a bit easier.
Mine always seems to be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
I always get that a little bit over. I don't know if that's that chain also. Maybe that chain also could it be slightly different?
So before the race, we like to check the sag just to make sure that when the riders go out on the track, the bike's set up like they normally ride. So yeah, just something we do to keep the bike consistently in the same position for the rider.
Yeah, flow on a track is kind of that state where the riders are, where they're attacking, but they're not using too much energy, and they are linking the corner from one corner to the next and not hitting too many of the bumps, more like floating around the track. So finding that point where they're comfortable and kind of floating is what we're looking for.
Putting the bullet under pressure, and he moves into third place.
Today was a moto which was not good, but still, if you finish P4 in a bad moto, I think we're still okay. It's not the place where we want to be at, and definitely doesn't bring confidence going into tomorrow, but I know I'm capable of riding better. I just have to show it tomorrow. Saw some guys making mistakes and I felt a bit sketchy. There was a lot of wind and didn't want to make any crazy mistakes, I can't afford like a huge crash now or to miss any GP or whatsoever, so I try to be just consistent at least. I just lost 3 points, so it's not end of the world, but in the racing, it's really depending on the temperatures and how physical the track is. The track was very easy going in the way of physical. It was just a lot of technical side from the track, and it was really depending on track to track how to fulfill your energy on a certain amount of race.
I think we need to come down. We're in the soft stuff. Yeah.
There's so many things what Jeffrey has, nobody else will ever have. But I think that was also a strength from our group to support riders individually. It's what I learned as a rider. The worst thing for you is like, okay, this is the bike, the other guy is winning, you don't like something, and then they tell you, yeah, but it's working, you see the other guy is winning on it. No. Every rider is different, and you need to treat him different. And I think that's really a strength of our group, that we have different characters, different trainers who can treat also our riders a bit different.
Coming into the ramp qualifying race on Saturday, Jorge Prado held a 15-point advantage over Jeffrey Herlings. Febvre there in 4th place, Herlings in 3rd. He'll go to the inside here, take the shortest route through. And Herlings goes around the outside, moves into 2nd place on lap 5. The first 2 riders now separated by less than half a second. And again, Herlings has bridged the gap. He'll go around the outside here, and if he commits, which he will, he may just get alongside, and that's exactly what he does. But Ziwa still managed to maintain the lead. But Herlings searching for new lines. Herlings are going to get the drive around the outside, just as he did on Prado. This time he goes through on Ziwa to lead on lap 12. 5.5 minutes to go. Oh, Herlings over the bars! What happened there? Oh, he's slow to pick himself up as well, out of the lead. Did he just hit a hole?
That's a weird one.
Wow, game changer. Championship turned upside down on its head once again. And Herlings is feeling a little bit second hand. Watch this here. Herlings, cross-rutted and then hits a hole mid-rut. Just threw him straight over the bars and out the front door. Most riders would have just parked the bike and walked away from it there and then, but he's chosen to stay out and pick up as many points as possible. Oh, on the right shoulder, he's holding that right shoulder. Don't tell me he's done another collarbone. A round of applause from the fans here as Herlings crosses a line in 20th place. Very dejected, very beaten up, battered and bruised.
He was still going around the track slowly. He was on TV for a long time. He'll be the last one to come off, I think.
I think I was correct on my neck. Fuck, you share me.
It's actually
My neck.
your neck, huh?
We've seen Jeffrey do crazy things. We've seen him ride with broken shoulder blades. Coming back from injury quickly for championships. We've seen him do crazy stuff, and this was uncharacteristic for Jeffrey, ride around slowly like that. If the bike is complete, normally Jeffrey is 110%.
In between Prado. Oh, Herlings over the bars! What happened there? Oh, it's going to be a long 3 laps from here for the number 84.
Unbelievable for what happened. I honestly have no words to really describe, because I really played a moto very smart like I did the entire season. Start off 3rd, slowly past Jorge, then past Jeremy, and at the moment I started pulling away with 3 laps to go, because I knew that was my strong point, and then it just had to change line because of some lap riders, and just the front end before I knew just shot me over the bars, and down I was. So it ended up with a crack in one of my bones in my neck, and due to that I need to miss several races, unfortunately. I straight had a CT scan on the track, and they saw that I had a broken neck, that my C5 was broken. Obviously, they were not very specialist in the zone of the neck, so they just, okay, we see a crack, and yeah, either you go to a German hospital or next to the track, for further investigation on the injury, or you can go home and check there, because it was a stable fracture. And then once I go home, they saw it was a crack. It was a pretty nice one, but still it was very dangerous because it was just next to some very scary parts, let's say. So I was very lucky. The chances of the championships are entirely over. You know, already when it happened, it was already kind of over. But yeah, you know, so I have to miss like more or less like 4, 5, 6 races. Most likely it's somewhere in that range between 4 and 6. That's somewhere the plan for now. But I don't know when I can return. Hopefully somewhere Finland, Sweden, Arnhem. That's somewhere the goal to return, and we'll see. We'll see from there.
So welcome back.
Welcome. God bless me.
So how is the neck today?
Good. Yeah, not so bad actually, to be honest.
Really good. Not stiff?
No.
Do you feel any difference from the left side and the right side?
No.
Okay.
I think the most impact on the body will get the knees, because on the knees you take a lot of impact. Same as on the back and the core, but obviously with landings, also the wrist. And basically, you know, when racing, you need to be entirely fit for the entire body. So, yeah, everything needs to be in good shape and be fit. Ja, zeker toen ik terug op de motor stapte, dacht ik echt van, toch wel weer even wennen. Zo na 6 weken op de bank liggen en vrij weinig doen natuurlijk. De laatste 2 weken heb ik goed fysiek kunnen trainen. De eerste 4 weken heb ik eigenlijk niks kunnen doen met mijn nek. Dus ja, was wel even weg, ja. Het doel is om in Arnhem weer top fit te zijn en daar hopelijk weer voor de overwinning kunnen meedraaien. En hier, het is een baantje wat me in het verleden wel wat me wel lag. Dus ja, ik ben benieuwd. Het is een beetje een zandbaantje, dus ik begin liever hier als een knetterharde baan.
Nee, maar de tijdtraining valt hier in het water.
Letterlijk even hier.
Letterlijk even hier.
Doesn't make sense to go back on the track, but
Nah, maybe just off in the
yeah, crazy.
Depending how you want to go into the race to see where and when you want to put your energy. I mean, you basically want to be fit throughout the whole moto, but when temperatures are like this and like around 20 degrees and tracks are not super rough, yeah, then you can sprint, let's say, the entire moto, but it's really depending, like I said, how the situation is. Today was just one dry line.
Ja.
You could see the MXGP board. Yeah, I was like, I don't even want to crash. Like after what happens, I was like, okay, let's just come in.
And you were also just like stuck with the pace of the guy in front of you. If you had a clear track.
But the guys, like, I saw the last one was riding alone. I was like even closer than Van Horbeck and Patrell.
Yeah.
And a little bit same like Ferrado. So I was like, yeah,
Oh, it's
I had
good.
the pace for fit.
Yeah, now after the last injury, I want to work more on the mobility of the head and the upper part of the spine, because after taking the neck brace for a couple of weeks or so, all the body needs to readapt to move in the proper way. But honestly, yesterday I saw Jeffrey for the first time after the injury, and the mobility was really good compared to what happened. So it was a really good feeling about that.
For me, the health is definitely more important than racing, because at the end of the day, the life you have, you need to be carrying on till you're 60, 70, 80, 90 years old, and same with the body. So For me, racing is important, but health is more. And that's why also with my neck injury, I took the time what was needed, and also on days like today, I don't take the crazy risk anymore.
From our side, having Jeffrey here at the race is just nice, you know, to have Jeffrey back, the whole team together again, and all this is building, learning and building back up to the form that, you know, so he can start winning again and then, you know, building up for next season.
MXGP race 1, 30 minutes plus 2. Who's it going to be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot here in the first race? Right, here's Herlings, still there in 6th position at the moment. Tries to dive down the inside, and it pays off as well. Fernandez, wow, back into 5th place. That was the horrible crash there from Ruben Fernandez.
Yeah, crazy first race back. Had a problem with the goggles, so I had to pull into the pit, into the goggle lane and change the goggles, but yeah, overall, I think it's just always good to be back at the races.
You made the right move to pull in.
I couldn't see anymore, I had no option.
Bit of a disaster, but anyway. It's not so bad. Huh? I don't know. Bike was big.
Big one?
Yeah, over the bar, like endo, over the bars.
Did he move?
He cross-jumped you a little bit on that when he passed it.
He's dangerous, man.
Yeah, we know
I had
this.
to let him pass, I didn't see anymore. Ah, good practice.
Yeah, and the bike was better?
Yeah.
But good.
Good warm-up.
For the final time this weekend, who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot here in race 2, Vanta? Everybody cleanly through. Off in 3rd, Herlings number 84 in 4th place, better start for the Bullet. Herlings with a 141.3, Koldenoff at 40.6 ahead of him. It's number 84, mounting his way through those waves though. Gains a few more bike lengths as well, he's putting the pressure on Hoff now. Jeffrey Herlings then on his final lap, cruising around in 4th place. 5th overall in his first race back to action.
Fuck yeah, mate.
I even had the speed, like, yeah, well, we were all together, but I had more speed, I just didn't know where to,
Perfect, dude. If you did want to pass him, you would have to take a big risk, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and also, like, I tried to pass after pit lane,
yeah.
and then right, but straight, like, when you got to that line.
Was good, Bullet.
Yeah, good work.
Yeah, of course, the track was very nice, but very difficult to pass. You almost couldn't pass at all, so I was 4th after the first lap, but I stayed for the entire moto. I think I had maybe a bit more speed than the guy in front of me, but just couldn't pass him, and he was actually riding really good, didn't make any mistakes, so couldn't have benefited from it and couldn't make a pass, but yeah, I think it was a good practice weekend, and to come out 5th overall after 1 day of training this week is not so bad.
There shouldn't be any surprises left with the Jeffrey Herlings story, but there always is. And yeah, he showed again why he is as good as he is. Super positive week, first weekend back. Just a good, solid building, and yeah, it's a sign of things to come, hopefully.
Definitely going to Sweden for a better result. I mean, 5th is already not too bad, but I hope to be closer to the podium. And definitely for going into Arnhem the next weekend, you know, that's a GP I really would like to go for a win. That's the goal, or at least a podium.